Welcome back to my channel, Star Booze.
As a congregation, as a group of followers of Jesus, and as believers to proclaim the gospel, Pope Leo XIV announced Luis Tagle's new job on the 14th, and it's unexpected. Many Catholics believed that something historic was about to happen when an emotional Luis Antonio Tagle accepted his red hat from Pope Benedict XVI in 2012. Charming, modest, and known as the Asian Francis, Tagle was regarded as both a man of the people and perhaps the future of the Church. Let's go ahead to May 2025. Following the election of a new pope, everyone eagerly anticipated if Pope Leo XIV would offer Tagle a novel and unexpected position. The Holy See Press Office issued a composed yet unambiguous statement on May 10, 2025. In actuality, the Holy Father wants to set aside a specific period of time for introspection, prayer, and discussion prior to any final nomination or confirmation. The emotional narrative was turned on its head by that one line. Many believed that Tagle's fate would serve as a symbol of the Church's direction, given that it happened just days after a historic conclave. However, Leo XIV opted for pause rather than power. Furthermore, the ramifications are extensive. The pontiff demonstrates both tact and humility by choosing to retain Tagle and everyone else in their existing positions. It indicates that Leo XIV is acutely aware of the gravity of the situation and is listening before taking charge. This is where things start to get interesting, though. Cardinal Tagle doesn't voice any complaints. He's not politicking or positioning himself. We wait for him to make the changes if he wants to make the changes, Tagle stated. The man's poise under duress speaks more than any title ever could. This goes beyond simple humility. It is an example of leadership. And for good reason. So many Catholics continue to use Tagle as a spiritual compass. According to experts, this is a not yet rather than a no. Vatican insiders dispute the notion that Leo XIV is ignoring Tagle, despite what some may think. Every dicastery head automatically proposes to step down when a new pope is chosen, according Church tradition. This provides the new pope with a clean slate and the flexibility to select his team without feeling uneasy. Before we do that, I need your assistance. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe and support me as I aim to reach 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Leo XIV, however, did not turn anyone away. All he did was ask for time. Time for introspection, prayer, and a thorough understanding of who shares his goal. That alone is a strong testament to Tagle's moral character. Leo could have taken action right away if he had wanted him out. He didn't. Rather than dismissing him, he is thoughtfully evaluating his next course of action. Rumors and fear spread quickly. However, the facts provide a different picture. One may easily become engrossed in the scenario. A new pope is accused of assaulting one of the most revered cardinals in the Church after making one controversial post. But let's take a moment to relax. What are the facts? They say this: the 14th Pope, Leo XIV, is not a firebrand. He is not a dictator. He is, in reality, quite human, humble, and perceptive, according to Cardinal Tagle himself. Those are not frightful words. Those are sincere words of respect from a person who knows him well. Not a single credible news source, not even the BBC, CNN, the New York Times, or the Inquirer, has published anything like a scary declaration. The Vatican has not issued any statements implying hostility, conflict, or censure. As the Church gets ready for new hires, Tagle actually continues to serve in his current position as assigned by Pope Leo XIV. Where, therefore, did this rumor originate? The solution is straightforward: conjecture, sensationalism, and unsubstantiated rumors. Who is the 14th Pope? A shepherd, not a shoemaker, really. Think twice if you have an image of Pope Leo XIV as a ruthless, cunning politician. This man is said to be perceptive and profoundly pastoral. someone who prays before acting and listens more than he talks. He is anything but a blunt-forced Vatican insider because of his experience as a missionary in Peru, his multilingualism, and his in-depth knowledge of Asian and Latin American cultures. It is evident in his early choices. He did not overthrow current officials after winning the election. He didn't issue directives or call press conferences. Instead, he asked for time for prayer, introspection, and communication, and temporarily kept all of the incumbent Vatican leaders, including Tagle. What sort of a leader would do that? Someone who leads from the heart rather than out of fear. Many Filipinos experienced grief following Pope Leo XIV's election on the 14th. Despite being widely regarded as Francis's heir apparent, Tagle had not been selected. Both the pride and the disappointment were genuine. What was Tagle's reaction? With grace, humility, and affection, he brought a message of hope rather than resentment back to Manila. He recognized the feeling. He gave the sadness a name. He then urged everyone to return to their faith, though. Tagle admitted that many Filipinos were disappointed. He did, however, exhort his followers to hold on to hope. Even when we don't fully comprehend God's plan, he reassured them that it is always flawless. A moment that might have caused division suddenly turned into one that brought healing. Why? Do people cry when he speaks? It goes beyond what Tagle claims. It's the way he speaks, with honesty, tears, and shaking. Here's why so many people are impacted by his remarks. Genuineness. Tagle doesn't act fake. He expresses his uncertainties, pleasures, anxieties, and dreams. When the time is right, he breaks down in tears. By doing this, one permits others to experience spiritual depth. Before we do that, I need your assistance. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe and support me as I aim to reach 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year. His statements are prophetic rather than political. They serve as a reminder of our beliefs, humanity in common. People in Tagle view themselves as brothers in the fight, rather than as princes of the church. When we cry, so does he. When we hope, he hopes too. We trust him because of this. Following the Manila speech, a Filipino laity leader was interviewed. Tagle is your mirror whether you consider yourself to be a servant, a builder of bridges, or a silent voice of truth in a world full of noise. He is more relatable even though he is not the Pope, a man who had the ability to climb while remaining on the ground, a leader who cried instead of taking revenge, a voice that had the option to yell but instead listened. He is still significant because many Catholics still see the church they aspire to in him. In conclusion, there is no concrete proof that Cardinal Tagle's associates betrayed him during the conclave in 2025. The stories of betrayal are a result of ideological disagreements, outside smear efforts, and the agonizing quiet that occasionally accompanies unfulfilled optimism. Tagle, however, is not a betrayed person. He is an endurance witness. And in a society that is fixated on winning, his quiet dignity might be the greatest triumph of all. You've heard the charges. Now keep the truth in mind. This is not a tale of treachery. It is a tale of fortitude without bitterness, of leadership without a title, and of faith that endures when elections don't go your way. Therefore, remind people that there was no fall the next time they attempt to rewrite Tagle's legacy. Only grace was present. Furthermore, in the end, grace always triumphs against treachery.